so we are going to start now. Director of the NTRC, Mr. Apollonites. Country Manager of Flow, Mr. Wayne Hall. Invited guests and our online viewers, welcome to the NTRC's Mesopotamia Community Discussion. At this time, I will welcome the Acting USF Administrator, Ms. Shadeja Gordon, to lead us into a word of prayer.
Good afternoon, everyone. Stand as we pray. Okay, bow our heads and close our eyes. Oh Lord, I thank you for giving us the opportunity to meet at this session here today. There, God, I ask that you help us to engage in meaningful discussions. In thy precious name I pray. Amen.
We'll continue standing for the anthem.
Beautiful with joyful hearts we play.
may have your seats. To continue, I will now welcome the Consumer and Public Relations Manager of the NTRC, Ms. Rhea Lewis, to give a presentation on the NTRC.
All right, so good evening, everybody. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come out today. As indicated, my name is Rhea Lewis, and I am the Consumer and Public Relations Manager of the NTRC. Part of my job is public relations, so that is to basically make the public aware of the NTRC, what we do. I'm also the event manager, so I manage all of the events that NTRC puts on, including this one. And the consumer part of my title is dealing with customer complaints because we regulate the service providers, right? So on the agenda for today, we have what is the NTRC, we have what is the Universal Service Fund. We're gonna go a little bit into Universal Service Fund projects, public awareness initiatives, online safety, and how you can make complaints against your service providers, right? So NTRC, the acronym, it stands for National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission. And we are responsible for managing telecommunication services as well as enhancing ICT development in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What do we do? First, we are responsible for issuing and processing licenses for the provision of telecommunication services such as mobile, cable, and internet licenses for service providers like Flow and Digicel to operate and ensure that the licensees comply with all the conditions in their licenses. We also collect all license fees that are required on the Telecommunications Act. And we issue what is called a central office code. That is the prefix behind all of your telephone numbers. So 456, 457, 593, etc. We're responsible for issuing those to the companies so that they can assign them to their customers. We also monitor and manage the use of radio frequencies. So radio stations as well as telecommunication service providers would use something called spectrum. So you realize that certain radio stations, you have to turn them to a specific channel. We are responsible for assigning those channels to the radio stations, and we collect the fees that are associated with them. There's something that is called interference when it comes to radio frequencies. So that is where two or more operators use the same frequency at the same time in the same location. And we are also responsible for investigating this. So it can happen with radio stations. For example, if you turn to, like, say, Hot 97, you might hear a different radio station coming through. It can also happen with your mobile phones, where you're trying to reach, like a specific number, and you get a different number, something like that, right? We are also responsible for handling complaints for telecommunication services. So for example, if you have a problem with your service provider, you went to them, the issue was not resolved, the NTRC has a process available to help resolve those issues, which I would get into a little later. And we also manage the Universal Service Fund, shortened as USF. It is used to carry out different projects across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. So what is the Universal Service Fund? The Universal Service Fund aims to make telecommunication services more accessible and affordable in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. By supporting social, educational, and economic growth, it focuses on providing services, especially in areas where the market falls short, and it helps groups like the disabled, the elderly, low-income families. The fund also supports telecom development for schools, healthcare, and other essential public organizations. So a few of the main projects that I'm going to focus on that the Universal Service Fund funds is the schools project, the maritime project, GMDSS expansion project, the police and health center project, the SMART project, and the online 24/7 project. Right, so into the schools project. The school project, this was initially started on June 2011, and we have been maintaining it until present time. So this initiative was launched to ensure that every school in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has internet connectivity. If you check your phone now, you should be able to see an open Wi-Fi access that is coming from the school. The Universal Service Fund is paying for that access. And there are 107 schools in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that we provide that internet service for. So at present time, 92 schools out of the 107 are benefiting from 100 megabits per second download and 50 megabits per second upload. And the remaining 15 schools are benefiting from 100 megabits per second download and upload speeds. Another project is the Maritime Project. This was first started in 2012. So basically what this project does, we have fishermen who go out on sea and they depend on their cell phones services, but they go further than their cell phones can reach. So the Maritime Project, this initiative was established to facilitate access to emergency and non-emergency communications within the coastal waters of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Additionally, it included the establishment of the Global Maritime Distress and Safety System in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, which offers services for distress alerts, distress relays, search and rescue operations, on-scene communication, and location tracking. So, from the Maritime Project, GMDSS transmission site was installed in Mount St. Andrew. There is a control system installed at the Coast Guard base, and 3 antennas and 3 transceivers were installed at Mount St. Andrew's remote site. So in 2021, an agreement was signed with Cable and Wireless to add a new transmission site in Union Island. This was to enhance the GMDSS coverage to the Grenadines to improve safety of fishermen, yachts, cruise ships, and all vessels transiting our waters. Another project is the Police and Health Center project. This was first started in June 2015, and it has been maintained up to present time. So this initiative offers wireless connectivity across all 29 police stations and 42 health centers in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And it ensures a minimum download speed of 350 megabits per second and a minimum upload speed of 50 megabits per second. As of March 2024, 31 computers have been installed in various clinics, 14 computers at the Milton Cato Memorial Hospital, and 10 computers at the Police Training School. The next project is the SMART project. This was first started in September 2014, where 340 households received subsidized internet access at a rate of $10 per month for a duration of 2 years. In 2019, this was increased to 640 households. So we added an additional 640 households. To qualify for the subsidized internet, you must not have had internet within the last 6 months at your home. You must have a student living in your home, and you must not have cable TV service. Under the SMART project as well, the Division of Technical Education also got a computer lab containing 35 high-powered computers. 20 of them were iMac computers. final project that I'm going to discuss is the Online 24/7 project. This was first started on July 18, 2022 between Digicel and SVG and the NTRC. This initiative supersedes a previous project that we call the Community Access Project and the Payphone Project. But we have since then decommissioned the payphone, so not going to go into that. But basically, this project aims to deliver internet services and establish new access points for open Wi-Fi connectivity across various locations in St. Vincent. So since this project has been started, 129 locations, apart from the schools, the health centers, etc., have also been outfitted with Wi-Fi. So that includes 54 community centers, 12 preschools, 19 tourism sites, 4 ports, 10 non-governmental organizations, 23 hard courts and playing fields, and 7 fishing complexes. In addition to what I just discussed, the NTRC is also committed to the development of youth and in encouraging them to develop ICT skills or pursue fields in this regard. So one of the programs that we developed was the iCode 784 competition. It is designed to let participants use their creativity and imagination to make a difference in the world, while also showcasing the innovative spirit of the young people. So the iCode 784 competition, it encourages the participants to put forward ideas for mobile applications for both the public sectors, which include government departments, state-owned companies, and the private sector, such as law firms, restaurants, minibuses, vendors, etc. And what this does is encourages them to find an issue that is being experienced by this particular public or private sector company and find a solution using an app for it, right? And participants have won cash prizes of up to $25,000, including trips to Barcelona, Spain to attend a conference called 4YFN. Another one of our initiatives is the My App Summer Program. This teaches participants ages 13 to 18 years old who may or may not have had previous coding experience, how to use a pocket-sized computer known as a microbit, as well as building robots and putting codes into these robots to have them perform certain tasks. And this summer program, we normally have it in different locations every year during July and August. So if you have students that might fall within the age range of 13 to 18, you can look out for that next year, right? This year we had it in Kingstown and, what's that location? Georgetown, right. Another NTRC initiative, we provide funding for short-term online courses for information and communications technology. And usually it's offered via the platform Coursera in the areas of software development, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, data analysis, machine learning, etc. So if you feel like you want to learn a new skill, a new ICT skill, and it's available on Coursera, you can check that out, let us know, sign up for the funding, and we can go from there. Another initiative that we have going on is the Student Bursary Program. This was first introduced in 2017. First, we started offering support to a single primary school student and a single secondary school student. However, since 2023, we have increased that to 3 primary school students and 3 secondary school student recipients. And what we do is provide support for them to purchase school supplies. Now for the complaints procedure. So, as I said before, you're having an issue with your service provider. The first thing you would normally do is go to the service provider's office. Let's say, for example, you go to the service provider's office and you're not getting anywhere with them. So the first thing you do is you obtain a complaint form 1, the forms are supposed to be available at the provider's offices as well as the NTRC's office. Most persons would come to the NTRC's office. What we would do is have you fill out the form and then forward it to the service provider. So a lot of people think that the first form is to the NTRC. No. The laws and regulation stipulate that we have to give the service provider time to resolve your complaint before we get involved. It might seem lengthy, but again, it's the laws that we have to follow, and usually you get your satisfaction from it, right? That is if your complaint is well within your right, right? So you get your form 1, you fill it out. We would forward it to you if you submit it to us or if you submit it directly to the service provider. The service provider is supposed to acknowledge receipt of the form within 3 days of receiving it, and they have 30 days from that day, from the day that you filed, to investigate or resolve your complaint. If after 30 days has passed and you're not satisfied with the resolution or nothing has been done, that is where you would file a complaint form 2, which is to the NTRC. So that gives us the permission to intervene on your behalf and help you get the matter resolved, right? Also, when you're filing a complaint, a lot of people just, they just like to call in on the radio station, or, they just call and they tell us what the complaint is. You have to file the form. This ensures that we have a record to go forward to, say, for example, if you need a tribunal to resolve the issue or anything like that, this ensures that we have the proper records. Also, when you're filing your complaints, you need to make sure you have your registered name on the account number, any contact information, and any correspondences between you and the service provider, if applicable. One of the other public awareness initiatives that we have going on is we do cybersecurity workshops and presentations where we teach persons best practices on the internet and how to protect yourself from cybercrime. So I would assume that most persons in here would know how you should protect yourself from cybercrime. So this is basically information that I would want you to pass on to your students. When I say students, I notice that there are some teachers in here. You talk to your students. If you have children who are young and impressionable, you also talk to them about how to use the internet properly, right? So we follow this SMART acronym, which is safe, meeting, accepting, reliable, and tell. So one of the things that you want to tell your students or your kids is to keep their personal information safe. If they would not say it to a stranger on the street, then don't share it with strangers online. This can include information like where they live, what school they attend, where their parents work, and so on, right? Another thing is meeting. A lot of our kids these days, they use technological devices. They have tablets, they have phones, and you're not always monitoring what they're doing, what sites they're going on. You let them know that they should not meet persons in public if they don't know them. And if they have to absolutely meet, they meet in a public place, and they make sure that they tell someone where they are going or who they are meeting, right? Specifically these secondary school students. Accepting. Before you accept a friend request, a message, a follow, or something from someone online, you make sure that you can verify that this person is legitimate before you accept anything from them. Back in the day, we used to click on links, and those would affect our computers by installing a virus or something. I don't think that happens now if you have a proper antivirus, but it can still happen to you. Also be reliable. Not everyone online is trustworthy. Someone may be lying about their age, who they are. Make sure you know who you're talking to and use reputable sites and services to protect you and your computer. So there are a lot of, sexual predators who are online. You need to also encourage your students, your children, that they should be very careful of who they're talking to online, because sometimes the person might be passing themselves off as somebody their age and they're much older, right? Also encourage them to tell a trusted friend if someone or something makes them feel worried or uncomfortable or just doesn't sit right with them. For more information on cybersecurity, you can visit getsafeonline.vc. For these cybersecurity workshops, we usually partner with a company in the UK called Get Safe Online, so you can scan the code or visit the website for more information. Thank you very much for listening.
At this time, I will welcome anyone who have any questions to ask based on the presentation that was just given. Any questions? Okay. Any questions online? Okay, so let's move on. I will now welcome the country manager of Flow, Mr. Wayne Hull, to give his presentation.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Mr. Nice, the director of the NTRC, other members of the NTRC, fellow villagers from Mesopotamia. I'm always happy to be here. As everyone knows, I'm a Mespo man, as they say, right? I think this is my second time coming to a consultation of the NTRC, and I think it's the second one in Mespo. So I am always happy to come out and spread the message of Flow, and also listen to challenges and maybe some good comments of our company that we may have. But this afternoon, I just wanted to give a brief update on the impact of Hurricane Beryl on Flow's network that happened on the 1st of July, and to give members of the community a sense of the challenges that we went through, a sense of the journey and where we have come from and where we are today. All right, so as we are aware, Hurricane Beryl hit on the 1st of July, and in terms of the impact on Flow's network, as of the 1st of July, 80% of our fixed network was offline, right? That is on the mainland. We had 100% disruption of our fixed services on Bequia, Mustique, Canawan, Myro, and Union Island, and also islands like Palm Island and Petite St. Vincent. On the mobile side, 68% of our mobile sites were offline, while only 13, that is 32%, remain active. That represented 18 sites on the mainland was offline, and 100% of the sites in the Grenadines were offline, and in the Grenadines we have 10 sites. In terms of the extent of the damage that we suffered, it's a total rounding close to just over 9.2 million EC dollars. So in one event, our company has suffered a significant loss. So coming from that, and just to give you a sense of what we have done so far, in well, on the mainland St. Vincent and in Beckway, we have restored the operation of our retail stores. They are fully operational. Our Kingston store, our store at the Highway Trading Building in Annisville is operational. Our store in Beckway is fully operational. Our retail store in Union Island was completely destroyed. So we have to rebuild and reestablish that. And we are working to collaborate with some partners on that island to reestablish the store. Our store in Canawan completely destroyed as well. We actually have to move to a new location. And we are about to retrofit and brand so that we can recommence operation on that island within the next 2 to 3 weeks. On our fixed network, we have pretty much gone back, I would say, business as usual as of today. In St. Vincent and in Beckway, we are more or less at business as usual. As of this morning, we had 231 customer open fall tickets. And that is, you know, a significant step down from where we were initially. Our teams, we have teams of technicians still on the ground from Antigua, St. Lucia, Trinidad, helping with our recovery efforts. We are doing cleanup efforts in Canawan, Myro, and Union Island. And we have actually restarted the rebuilding of the fixed network in the Southern Grenadines. Actually, in Canawan, we have already connected back banks. I think the credit union is back up, the police. We are trying to get back the schools. Some of the B2B customers on that island is also having service again. This is just a breakout of, you know, our open fall tickets. And just to give you a sense of the journey that we have come from, we had over 6,000 open tickets after the end of Beryl. And imagine a team of, say, 20 technicians having to deal with 6,000 plus homes in St. Vincent in a very short space of time. So this is why, you know, our customers in some cases were a little bit frustrated that it was taking some time to recover. But I think given the extent of the damage on our network throughout St. Vincent as well, in Beckway, in Canawan, Union Island, and Myro, to get down our fall counts to 231 customers in under 3 months, I think is a phenomenal task. And, you know, I believe, and I always thank my team for the effort that they have put in to recover and reconnect homes. But as you see, we still have, you know, most of our falls concentrated on the windward side of the island. Some on the central, you know, which is like the areas of St. George, Annisville. Beckway do have, you know, some high level fault, and to a lesser extent, the leeward side was you know, in pretty good shape, and I think 35 is a normal count, you know, for faults on that side of the island. On our mobile network, we have been able to recover 100% of our sites on the mainland of St. Vincent. 7 of our 9 sites in the Grenadines have been restored. All of our sites in Beckway is back online. All of our sites in Mustique is back online. We have 1 site restored in Canawan, and that is now powered by the Vinlec. In Union Island, we have 2 sites up now today. And to tell you the extent of the challenge, we have been running those sites on generators for the last, I would say, 4 weeks, right? And, you know, that comes with a lot of work in terms of refueling. Sometimes the generator fail, there's a part needed, you know. Water may get into the fuel. So it has really been a challenge, and we have made the effort to keep the people of the Southern Grenadines connected, at least having some mobile service on the island. The island of Myro, We are currently rebuilding the site there. It has presented some challenges, but we have already replanted the pole. We have sent down the equipment, and we hope to get that site back up, I think, by early next week. I also wanted to share a bit of flavor on some of the communications that we have put out to our customers during the event of the storm and the recovery. We issued a comms that we are going to rebate customers, and we have done so. As of the 1st of April, we rebated 6,876 fixed customers for interruption of services. And what we have said to our remaining customers, if you have not been credited, you have the opportunity. You can go into the store, make a request. The agents would do their due diligence, and they would more than likely issue your credit. As of today, when I checked, we still have about 400 plus credits that are being processed by our staff. So we have been continuing to issue the credits to our customers. We have suspended all of the billing for the customers in Canaan, Myra, and Union Island, so they no longer receive a bill for fixed services, that is. We have given to our customers on the prepaid service a free data plan with voice and SMS as well. Our mobile postpaid customers, we gave them 5 gigs of data for free so that they can, use and don't go over their limits. And we conducted relief visits first in Union Island, but we also did visits subsequently in Canaan, and we also did touch the island of Myro as well. Our company is part of the whole apparatus of the National Emergency Response Committee. So we have been issuing, regular updates to both the NTRC, the Minister of Telecoms, and the National Emergency Council on a regular basis as well. And we have been issuing press releases, postings on social media. We have actually sent out emails to specific customers about the credits that they have received, all right? So those are some of the activities that we undertook. I just wanted to give a more visual view of some of the, activities that has happened and give you a visual view of some of the damages. This is us in Union Island here. We did a relief visit, and we also did specials on mobile handsets. These are some technicians that came in from Antigua, St. Lucia, and Trinidad. These are just a few of them. I was just giving them a little welcome there. So we had to bring in new resources into the island to help us. We posted this on our social media page and in the other media. But as I said, we have issued over 7,000 plus credits to customers from the impact of Hurricane Beryl. As you see, if you follow our communications, this is our ad that we did to notify customers that they received a free 3 gigs of data for mobile prepaid plus 300 voice minutes and 300 SMS. And our postpaid customers receive 5 gigs of data. We also continue to update our customers when we have been doing restorations. In one of these ads, we indicated that the Clifton mobile site has been restored. I think that was a welcome development for the people of Union Island. We also communicated our progress in restoration of fixed homes, and just giving our customers a contact where they can log their faults as well. This is a team preparing what we call a cellular on wheels, and this was the first one that we were taking down to Union Island, but we ended up planting the pole and using that instead because it would have given better coverage and have better stability. And because we were able to do it in a quick time, we did not do that. But the team is continuing to prepare these things to be deployed in Myra as well. This is where we indicated to Canaan that mobile services have been restored. In Fancy, we communicated that as well. Letting the people of Richmond Park, fancy area of Vermont, Cane Garden, and Mackey's Hill know that we were still working on the areas because they were a little bit delayed due to some, longer term challenges in those specific communities. And we did indicate, where our mobile sites are live and also where we were, still out of service. So the idea was to give clear and open communications to our customers on our social media pages. And I just wanted to show you some of the damages and the extent of the work that Flow have to do. Not just Flow, but I think generally the telecom operators have to do to recover. As you see here, this is one of our sites in Union Island. You can see building blown down, fencing. This is our store here in Canawan. The entire building is damaged and I think has been discarded. These as well is from our mobile site. You can see the destruction of the wind. And I think this is the building in the Miro. This was the Clifton site that fell as well. So that was completely destroyed and we had to rebuild it. This one is the Miro site. That one fell. We're in the process of rebuilding that right now. Damages to our building, damages to our microwave systems here. More damages. So the extent of the damages that we suffered as a company is enormous, and the road to recovery is no doubt significant, right? So I just wanted to give the audience a flavor of the extent of the damages that we faced. And just to give you a sense of the amount of work that we have to do to bring back connectivity to the people of St. Vincent and the people of the Southern Grenadines primarily. All right, just moving on a bit. I wanted to just give you a little bit of history on how we have been instrumental in the evolution of internet in St. Vincent over the last 10 years. And sometimes the memories are a little bit, fades, right? Because in 2014, the minimum entry speed or the most used speed in St. Vincent and the Grenadines was just 2 megs, right? Just 2 megs. In 2015, we did upgrade that to 5 megs as an entry speed, and that served its purpose for a little while. And then we made a significant step change in 2018 where we upgrade the speeds by 10 times, right? And take it up to a minimum of 50 megs. So you can see the journey had already started with us in upgrading our customers and our internet services pretty much without any noticeable increase in prices. In 2021, we further increased the speed, taking it from 50 megs up to 250 megs, right? That again was another phenomenal jump and a sort of I would say a game changer in the way internet was delivered. And as of today, in 2024, earlier this year, we added a further 50 megs on our internet entry speed, taking it up to 300 megs. Yes, some of it has seen some inflationary impact on prices, but when you look at that 10-year journey, the internet speeds have increased by 14,900%, right, in the last 10 years. And, to me, that is mind-boggling. And that is an indication of the level of investment that Flow has made in the market to facilitate this. And it's no easy task. I think many persons back then in 2014 never would have thought that our network could deliver such speed, but it took effort, it took a level of ingenuity to get the speeds and get the investments across St. Vincent and the Grenadines and on our core network to deliver those speeds. And I don't think we are done there, but I just wanted to give a sense of where we are coming from and where we are today, right? finally, and I'll end here, because I think it's very important for customers and the audience here to be aware of how you can reach us. Many times I see, and I think this is a phenomena that has developed among our fellow citizens now, is that people make a post on Facebook or whatever social media page, and they expect that their fault should be fixed or their issue would be fixed automatically by just making a post on a page. Really and truly, that's not the way to do it. There are other remote methods of getting your issue addressed, so you can stay in your home and try and reach the contact center at 1-800-804-2994. And that number from a flow phone is actually a free call, so it's a 1-800 number that's free to you, so you do not incur a charge for being on the line. You can also use our virtual store, right, which we have a WhatsApp number here, 784-494-5464. And you can send a message to that number, and you will get the assistance. We also have the email channel. You can send an email to support@vincisolve.com, and your issue would get to the right person and get addressed. So these are just 3 methods where you can sit in your home rather than writing a post on the social media. Send an email, send a WhatsApp, or pick up your telephone, your mobile phone, and make a call to the contact center to report your issue. If you want to pay your bill, you do not have to go into the store either. The easiest and quickest way is to use FastPay. FastPay, I use it all the time as well, although I am right there, but I sit and use FastPay and pay my bills as well. So www.fastpayflow.com is the site that you can use. Alternatively, you can go to www.discoverflow.co to also access our online services, but that will require you to sign up and put in your credentials so that you can get access. So with that, I want to thank you for listening to me, and I hope this information brings some value to you and to my fellow villagers of Mespo. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Hull. At this time, I would invite anyone to ask any questions. I know you have questions for Mr. Hull, so ask him now and don't leave and go home. And when you reach home, this ain't working and that ain't working. So let us fix it now. You don't have to come up here to speak. You could stand and speak where you are.
Okay, good afternoon. I just wanted to find out something. We all would have seen and heard of the damages that was done by Beryl. So what I want to find out is that, well, I know it's going to be costly on you guys. So I want to know if customers should expect some kind of increase in their bill payments moving forward to help in with the damages that was done.
Not specifically to burial. So we do not increase prices because burial, occurred, right? Yes, prices may increase like any other thing because of inflation, other matters. I say to people, I just give you a view of 2014. Back in 2014, the cost of a tin beef was about $6. The other day I went to the supermarket, it's about $14, $15, right? So with how much? For beef? No, man. No, man, that is not true. That is not true. That's a new one. That's not exactly. No, man. You can't get no beef for $6.10. Huh? No, but the point I'm saying on price increases, we do not take like the hurricane into impact. So we will not increase our prices to recover from the hurricane. We have things like insurance that helps with that sort of a thing, and we make provisions for that because we are in a hurricane belt, right? So we have insurance, and so that we tap into to cover the restoration work and to cover for some of the damages that we incur. Okay, but as I said, price increases is driven by other factors. All right?
Sure. Why weren't customers given a 5% or 10% discount? Even though, sorry. Why weren't customers given a discount, maybe a 5% or 10%, because they would have been without internet services for some days or so? And then you still have to go and pay your full amount of for your bill.
So as I presented, right, we gave about 7,000 customers discounts on their bills so far. And as of today, we have just over 400 plus that we're processing from persons who walked into the store and requested a discount that we missed. So inadvertently, everything in a computer system sometimes is not foolproof. So if you think that you are out of a service for an extended period of time, you can go into the store, they will check the account, they will look to see if there were any usage or not, and the agents would be empathetic. But if you had service, you automatically would not get a discount. If you had service, you know, for as soon as the electricity was restored, that sort of a thing. You understand? Okay? So generally, I think, as I said, we had about 80% of the customers off. Those came back pretty quickly. We had about 6,000 plus faults in the system reported, right? So when I look at the credits that we have issued, the number of tickets that we had, it's sort of almost correlating. But if you had service, no, we would not have given you a discount automatically. It's only if you are out of service due to a network disruption or, yeah? Okay? There's a lady in the front there.
Okay, I have had a problem with my internet and cable, right? I was out of service for at least 7 days. I called 100 and I listened to the instruction, I followed the instruction. I explained my problem with the internet and the cable. I was given a number so that when I get back the connection to call to inform them that I got back my connection. I did all of that. That happened 2 times. 7 days, 2 times. That means 14 days. I was told I will be given something, something will be taken off of my bill. And up to this day, nothing off of my bill. No.
So we may have missed you.
No, you can't miss me because it's every minute I call in. Because I want the thing off.
So what I'm saying, we may have missed that. So what I can do is take your information and get that.
All right.
Okay? So just write your account number, and because it will be logged in the system once you contact the contact center. Okay?
Okay, Mr. Hull, my question is that the system that you're using now, for example, when there is no electricity, there is no cable, there is no internet. And I find, for example, for persons who don't have credits on their phone, there is no sort of communication. So I'm wondering, can your company choose a different way in which they can sort that? Because I think it's really hard for persons who are unable to put credit on their cell phones when there is no electricity. There's no cable, no internet, no sort of communication.
Yes, and it stemmed from back in the days, the old network was copper, right? And you see that exchange just opposite the police station for us. That's kind of a central point. Because copper can conduct electricity, right? You could have had like the connectivity still, even if VINLEC failed. Understand? But this new technology requires us to bring different points of electricity at different parts of the village. So we have to, if you live in Canaan, I suppose, we have to put something up there with a Vinlek connection and a node. In Richmond Park, we have to put something there. So it's a different technology. Unfortunately, we have backup systems in terms of batteries at those sites, but they only last about 3 hours in some cases. And, you know, we are constantly looking at different solutions, but yes, it is a challenge. It is a challenge to, you know, because it's a different network topology and framework. You know, you wouldn't get the same like connectivity as you were using the old copper lines, which sort of transmitted electricity along those lines from one central point throughout the entire community, for instance, right? Yeah. We do that as well. The UPSs where if the home doesn't have power, we can like an elderly person over, I think is over 60, can get a free UPS box from us to connect their fixed line into that box. So it will last for about 3 hours as well in the home. So you can you can get that from our store for free of cost for the elderly. I think other persons have to pay a small fee. That could help with the connectivity in the home as well. But we also put battery backups in the various nodes. But as you know, with a battery, it wouldn't last forever, right? Especially if the electricity is out 12 hours or so, yeah? Say that again? 60 and over, they get it free of cost from us. So you can visit the store if you have an elderly and request one of those UPS boxes. Any more questions?
Why is it that, for instance, the billing cycle starts, well, you send out the bill at the first of the month? Why is that so? Reason being, because if I'm paying for something before I use it, and then there are several outages that occur during the month, I am not compensated for that if, you know, in the event that happens. Why is it that way? And there's because, you know, how are you going to then track to say, okay, yeah, he actually had outages, you know, how do we deal with that? Because, you know, at the start of the month now, I've had an instance where month start, go make a call, this account has been barred. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how your billing cycle goes. But I mean, so I'm just wondering, like, why is it like that? Especially for the average person, you know, things are for some person, not everyone may be able to, you know, pay the bill like that. So I'm just curious.
As to why it's a bill in advance.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a simple way to put it. You look like an intelligent young man, and a service, as you know, is an intangible, right? It's not something that you can physically lift up. I try to use things that people understand. If you go by quotes and you credit something and you don't pay, they can come back and take the bed, right? But if you use our service and you don't pay, right? There's nothing for us to recover that after you finish using it, right? And you understand? So it's just, I'm just trying to share the concept. It's not that we are being mean as that, but I'm just trying to show you in the best way the concept. Similar to like reggae artists or any artists. They don't go on the stage and perform before they're paid because they're performing a service. They're singing a song, and if they sing the song, you don't party, enjoy, and they don't get paid, they can't go and take back the music and the nice time. You understand? So it's that concept why an intangible service is generally billed in advance. And this is not a St. Vincent thing, it's just a standard way of operation, you know? And I try to explain that to persons too. I hope you get why, and you know. No, well, disconnection happens if you have more than one bill outstanding. So, well, that's an anomaly, but generally the disconnection happens when you have at least two bills past the due date. That's when you will be disconnected. So if you billed on the 1st, your payment due date is on the 21st. You get some leeway there. Then the next bill comes out on the 1st. and the next 21st come, you don't clear the one prior, obviously after the 21st, you will get bad, yeah, on the second bill.
Also, I've had this happened already where, so I went to Caracas when they had the football thing, whatever, whatever, right? I wasn't connected in it to a call about the roaming charges still apply, fine, right? So the only thing on my bill was literally 20, I think it's $25 somewhere there. And I got disconnected, $25. No, my question
Is it that you got disconnected, or you had a spank limit on your account? Because what customers require, some people don't want to pay anything more. So generally they say, when I go over $1, cut me. You understand? So maybe that's what happened. But no, but generally there is a credit limit threshold so that people don't go over the bill. It's something that used to happen in the past, right? Where persons used to run up big bills. So there's something called a spank limit where once you hit that threshold, it stops the service. So that it prevents you from having a high bill, and you know, but you can go in and discuss that, increase it if yeah. Yeah. We also have the Annisville store. If you go to the Annisville store, it's generally quick service. They're not very packed as well. All right? Okay? That's it. That's it for me. Y'all giving y'all Mesopotamia plenty pressure, boy. I understand this. I am not getting. You send a message indicating that you're not well? Right. Yeah. Yeah, but if you did not pay, the amounts that you did not pay will still be there. Oh, you mean a late fee charge? Okay. Yeah, no. In situation like that, we are very empathetic, right? So it just requires a conversation. Okay, but it's something that I encourage the team to do. If a customer indicate that they're ill, you understand? It's a situation where we extend a good heart, which we remove those late fees. You know, even I have had many situations like that. We suspend disconnection on that account as well, depending on the situation. So, you know, I sometimes, you know, things are not followed as, you know, you would expect, but in situations like that, we are generally empathetic with customers, and we remove those fees once you have a conversation. Yeah, the threshold that we used was 3 days. So yeah. So if the system picked up that you were off for 3 days, we round it up to 1 week. That sort of a thing, you know. So that was the threshold that we used. As I said, some things may have slipped through the cracks. If you think that you did not get a discount, go into the store, speak to the agent, and they are processing discounts for additional customers. Yes, that's not a problem. All right. I'm putting it out there. I'm putting it out there now. It will be difficult. Yeah, it will be hmm I think they're streaming it online here, the NTRC. So this is being recorded. But what I'm saying, it will be difficult for us to do that kind of control for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It's a pretty big country, and different persons will be in Kingston at different times, different points. So it will be difficult for us to do that. Actually, we do that. We do that. We actually do that. We are actually doing that. hmm Yeah, no, no, no. So yes, yes, and I take the point. It's a good point you're making, but I just want to let you know we had an event in Georgetown, a summer kids event. We had sales staff there collecting bills, doing adjustments, all the works. We had one in Barley as well. Yeah. So yeah, but it's a good point, and I take it on board. All right, thanks. But we do have persons who are being serviced through these channels. Huh? But no, but Beryl created a high amount of volume too. No, no, no. I mean, yeah, I didn't touch on America because we pretty much recovered America in a. Okay. Well, you could tell me. I'm not sure if you want to move on. But, we could have a conversation. We could have a conversation. It's not my meeting. It's not my meeting. No, no, no. But okay. But let me say though. Let me say we had a fairly quick recovery in Mexico. The only, as you noticed, we had put up on the screen that Richmond Park had an issue. I think what had happened in Richmond Park, there was a cut line on one of the main poles had a line that was snipped, and sometimes you're not able to pick up these things very easily. So that took some time for us to find because the damage was significant, number of drop lines down, X, Y, and Z. But America generally came back online once the power was up. You know, we got it. It was a couple days subsequent. 8 days, 8 days. There are people in Union Island that haven't seen current in 3 months. But 8 days is not too bad, right? Because we had a lot. But I think generally in this community was back on. KNN was back on, and other places more like to on the hills and so on. In Freeland, they were back on as well. So I didn't go into America because we are pretty much back to business as usual in America. I think services is back up compared to other operators. I see some digital people here. Oh, my brethren. My, but no, but we, you know, but no, I mean, we at Flow really did work hard to bring back the service as quick as possible. So I think for that I commend my team, as I said, and I think we should be grateful of the effort because it was a lot of work. People worked day and night, tired, weekends, Sunday to Sunday, to get things back on. All right.
Every month and you not give me back nothing. Not one thing. And again, the bundling.
We do give offers for postpaid. You know, you don't hear about it, but I mean, just thinking about burial, we gave you back 5 gigs of data for free. Nah, man, you got it, man. You got it. You probably use it and you realize. I think you use it and you realize. But okay, but no, but postpaid have already discounted things built into to their plan. So for instance, you get if you bundle your service, you get a 50% discount right away. You know. Yeah, but you can bundle just some internet and a postpaid. That's it, and you get that, right? 50% off. Internet. Yeah, you can do one bundle for your TV and for $200, $230, I think. That's the bundle. That's a good deal. That gives you a discount as well. Yeah. So you can just add your children and your yeah. That means she have several users on the plan as well. Yeah. But anyway, but the postpaid is a good deal. It's the best deal in town. So you're getting a lot of benefits already with your plan. Yeah?
Yeah, so at this time, I will now welcome Mr. Lennox Samuel from Digicel.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, I know. She would take it off just now. I wanna start with the question that the lady asked a while ago. Unlike Mr. Hull, I have a different answer to the question, right? I have been in telecom for over 18 years, right? So the thing about postpaid customers is that he said built-in, but you already have a discount in your usage. The rate you pay is way different from a prepaid customer. And to be honest, working in digital for 18 years plus, we have seen the economy of St. Vincentian prefer pay as you go rather than have a bill because, oh, I have another bill to pay, right? So one of the things we drive is because market shares in both Flow and Digicel, which I know of, personally speaking, it's 80% higher than postpaid. So you would have 20% postpaid and 80% prepaid, right? So hence the reason why most of the time we push to the more one that will give us more profit at the end of the day, right? So I think hence the reason why he said that it's already built in, but not only built in, but because our demographic and our economy for sure, even professionals, as I show you a teacher, right? Even though we get a teacher offer, they still don't take it. They prefer to spend the money and just what I use is what I pay for, right? So we have to adapt that from a customer's perspective. So I just wanted to start with that. Well, I wasn't prepared to do any presentation because my supervisor, who was supposed to be here, I just spoke to her. She didn't realize that it was today for the presentation. But and I'm sure Mr. Howell would have highlighted because I heard the burial talk. I mean, burial has impacted both Flow and Digicel very drastically. Whether on a a GSM side or an internet side. It doesn't matter, right? What Mr. Hall didn't say is that both technicians of DDCell and Flow work together. I mean, I often say, since I'm working with DDCell for 18 years, I have never had an argument with Mr. Hall. I know him personally, he knows me, right? But it is not our company to fight with each other. I mean, our goal is to help Vintentions. And once Vintentions are happy, we will be happy, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you're Flow or DDCell. Saying that, you know, Mr. Hall, there is one thing my good friend there, Mr. Knights, will tell you. If they come in the office and they ask me, even this sporting thing, I hate it with a passion. Because customers go where they think they're comfortable, and then they switch back when they're uncomfortable. And I hate it because if you're a customer, remain a customer, remain loyal, right? But we don't have loyalty in St. Vincent, right? Right? So, yes. Right. So, I mean, we give them the opportunity because NTRC require us. Mr. Knight require us. Mr. Knight require us to do that, right? But some of the conversation is that what the concern, like for internet, for instance, for us, differently from Flow, is that once you tell us when you're reconnected, we give you a discount up to that time. So if you are disconnected, like the hurricane happened in June 1st, if you're reconnected the whole of July, you don't have a bill to pay, right? We don't let you pay a bill. If you're reconnected by the middle of July, you only have half month to pay. So we don't take you, we take you on a case-by-case basis, rather than, I see you ask a very powerful question. We cannot take it by areas because our technicians, we tend to prioritize certain things over Flow will as well. We will prioritize certain businesses or certain individuals over doing everybody, because sometimes not everybody come and make the company at the same time. Because something that Mr. Hall said that struck me is that when Hurricane Beryl passed, not everyone line was broken down. Not everyone didn't have connectivity. What happened is that if the main source of connection was down, then everybody would have been out. But once the main source come up, there are some people who will get it right away, and there would have been some people who had to report it in order to get it fixed, right? So, I mean, as I said, to be honest, guys, DDCell and Flow work together technically because we share the same thing. We share the same goal, which is helping Vintention, and that's one of the main things that we want to share with you. So I am open for any questions. I think I can answer any question that you have to shoot at me. So any question?
You guys put out a plan that you could put on data plan and get it to use anywhere in the Caribbean. I put on the plan for only the plan not to be working and my credit to be taken. Why is that?
Here what happened? You actually just step in my zone. What I didn't do, I didn't introduce myself, right? Well, you know me as Lelox Samuel, but I'm also the products executive at DDCL, which means I build everything that you use. I test and I build everything. What plan did you activate? Mr. Knights can keep me honest. If you do not have a roaming plan, we do not allow you to roam, right? So if you put on a plan that can only work in St. Vincent, if you leave and go Barbados, you cannot use it. We have roaming plan that enable you to use your plan while you are away, but it cannot be a localized plan. So if, say, for instance, we have two plans, namely the Prime plan and the Prime Ultra plans. We also have roaming plans. Roaming plans give you allotment of data and all your incoming calls free. Outgoing calls are charged for because other countries that you roam in expect you to pay government a fee, right? So we cannot give it for free for outgoing calls. But if you activate a roaming plan once you leave St. Vincent, then you should be fine. Except it be for Dominica, Grenada, and St. Lucia. So, were you roaming in those places? That is the 2-day plan, the 2-day ultra you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so you activated a 2-day Prime Ultra plan, which gives you all local calls unlimited, and you have an allotment of minutes to call to the region, digital calls only, and international to USA and Canada. If you call outside of that, you will be charged. Hold on. So let me explain it. Because I have a tendency of want to explain these things because of what I do. A lot of us, to be honest, it is not a fine print. We say terms and conditions, but they are in big bold, right? Right, Mr. Hall? They are in big bold. But guess what happened? We have a tendency don't want to read what it says. So the plan will tell you you have unlimited local calls, whether to Flow or Digicel, and you have minutes, whether 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, to make calls to Digicel Caribbean countries and USA and Canada. Where were you trying to call? Exactly. Jamaica, and Mr. Knight could keep me honest. There are certain countries that we don't have control over them when going to make outgoing calls, which is Jamaica, Guyana, Haiti, and another country. Because their government has policies where you have to pay for all incoming calls. Right? Hold on before you say anything. I want to take you back to, you remember when Flow was cable and wireless? And remember you used to pay for both incoming and outgoing calls? Right. So there are some countries who still adopt that policy. Right? So there are countries that we don't have control of. One of them is Jamaica. One of them is Haiti. One of them is Cuba, for sure. And the other one is Guyana. Yes, so that is probably right. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight. So that is actually correct. And to be honest, I have been dealing with that issue because our customer service is now, we have what you call inbound and outbound. So inbound is where you can call in and it's a free number where you can call in and get answers to questions. That is actually based in St. Lucia. Unless people like me do not send the information for them, what they will tell you is probably what they know from knowledge, right? Even Mr. Knights, I want to say this because even there are a lot of people, we had cable and wireless and Digicel has, and I always say, Flow and Digicel, I don't keep enemies and I don't say that, oh, Flow is here and Flow is this and Flow is that, right? That's me personally speaking. The thing is, we adapt to changes that happen in the ever-changing world. We are living in a technological world that changes every single day. Every day, Mr. Hall might go in, he get an email from his boss. Mr. Hall, you need to remove XYZ from your plant, right? Well, I'm just, well, I want to give an example, right? Right, but I want to give an example. We used to allow you call to UK landlines, right? We actually receive an email from higher up saying that we need to remove them because now the policies in England has changed. So that's why I say ever-changing world. That's why I mentioned Mr. Hall like that. Because as they change, you're right. I know. Don't worry. As you change, they will hand down mandates for you that you need to do because it is changing. So, as I said, it is probably an error on the customer care part. And to be honest, after tonight, I'll make sure that they get the correct information. Hold on, let me take yeah. Tell me. Well, as Mr. Knight said, there is also an NTRC form that is ready available whether at the store or at the offices where you can lodge a complaint. Yes, Mr.
Just a constructive comment. Because he said the advertising is in big and bold. Your network free calls, and then somebody in their mind might say, oh, well, Jamaica is Digicel stronghold, so I should be able to contact them, but maybe you should add an exception in the artwork or whatever, or to the plan saying that in the exception of Haiti, Jamaica, etc., and Cuba, etc., so people don't have a misconception.
We actually do. Yeah, we actually do, but as I said, there are certain comments I don't like to make outside of my job. I will say it to my coworkers because there's something I would just not say in the public, yeah? Right? Any other questions?
Went automatically to Jamaica saying that the other outlets were closed because of burial. And the person who I spoke with was a Jamaican, and they said that I was speaking to the Jamaican, well, officer, whatever, however you call it there. And I said, okay, well, cool. And I made sure I asked over, and I said, you sure? And the person said, yes. So, who gave out the wrong information? Who did what?
So I was training the digital, right? I was training the digital to fix problems, right? Fix problems. Don't have them delay, right? So after her, you can give me a number. I'll deal with it. I'll refund you. Yeah. Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes, this is my question. Why, if I put on, per se, let's say a one-day plan, why does it automatically renew unless I opt out of it? Because this has caught me a number of times. When I do check, all my credit is gone.
All of our plans are built to be auto-renewed, right? What that means is that we have seen a habit in customers where customers, they prefer to have it auto-renew rather than go in and dial whether a UMM or, whether a UMM or go into the MyDDCell or the app you guys have, right? So we kind of make it a bit easier for you, right? Once there is enough credit on your phone to auto-renew, right? We make it to auto-renew, right? One of the things, especially the one day, what we realize, and I will bring it up in the meeting in the morning, unfortunately, that customers only put on a one day because I'm leaving my house to go to town, right? But because you have, most of the times, you have more than what the one day costs on your phone, or double it, or triple, or 5 times the one day. So what it will automatically do, it will automatically renew, right? Right? So I will bring up in the meeting in the morning. We'll try and see how we can accommodate. But the thing is, auto renewal is something that we realize that customers have a habit. When they get into a habit, they don't want to stop it. It's called a habit, right? But I will take that into consideration and get back to you, yeah?
Please do, because I think if I...
So you can give me a you as well can give me a number.
It should be 24 hours, it shouldn't be automatically renewed.
It
If I extend it, I will make effort and go on.
Yeah. No. There's actually an option in the you see, one thing that I was listening to the conversation with Mr. Hall. One thing we want to get customers in the habit is to be self-sufficient. There's an app you call the MyDigital app. If you go into the app, you should be able to opt out of it inside the MyDigital app, because we're getting you. No, there's an opt-out option as well. I can actually pull my phone and show it to you. Right, so you can actually turn it off. You can actually turn it off on your own. Right? Yeah. Correct. And that's what you just said. So we don't study that, so we don't turn it off. But you can actually turn it off. Any other questions? And I can tell you this. There are 2 toll-free numbers you can use, which is 100, or you can call directly to a local number 4308000, and you will be helped to have it stopped if you can't get it. Right? It's actually a toll-free call. You're not charged for the call. No, it doesn't. To be honest, I do because I actually walk where 4308000 is, at the front desk. No, that's why I said there's a 100 number that will send the request. As I said, where I work is a product. They will send the email to me. And even at night, where I'm supposed to be working from an 8 to 4 or 9 to 5, if you go in my car right now, my computer is still on because I can go and check and I get it on my phone, right? So I actually, personally speaking, I never stop working. Even in church, I'm in church praising God and they call my phone. Yeah? Right? Any other questions? Yes. Like what? Exactly like what? And hence the reason why when I came up here, I said that my supervisor should have been here. I was only invited here by, if I tell you by whom, and I was just reminded. No, that's why I'm taking questions, so that I always have, actually part of the commercial team who make decision for Digicel. So on tomorrow morning from 9:30, like what he just said, I will mention it in the meeting. Why should you? To be honest, as I said, I'm not in a competitive spirit, right, Mr. Hull? But we are more reliable. To be no. You will say that, but we are more reliable. How? Let me tell you how. And that is the thing. That is the thing. That's why I don't want to get into that part of it, because if I start to explain technical stuff for you, you might not understand, right? Right? She wanted, okay, teachers. Okay, say for instance, right? Say for instance, right? At Flow, right? If I'm living in an area with me and you, right? And I'm the last house, right? We are connected on one line, right? In Digicel, you have your own separate lines, right? Okay? So, if we tell you are getting 100 megabytes per second in speed, you will get it. Whether it doesn't matter what day, what time of the day. You see, different with Flow. Hold on. Right? No. That's why I say one sentence, I'm trying to answer. So, the reliability is that when you're connected with Flow, you have people that sharing your internet on your line, while on Digicel, you alone is on your line. Right? That's not true. I can prove that. Hold on. Let me answer. Mr. Barnwell, right? Mr. Barnwell, I have Flow internet on my house. And hold on. I do not get into the integrity of it because I know what we go through every day. So I have personal people who I contact at Flow when I'm having issues. So let me leave it at that.
Lennox.
Yes.
The lines that individually go to your customers' homes, where do they go to?
Who did I go to?
They don't aggregate back onto one line. No, wait, hold on, Lennox. They cannot aggregate back to your Come now.
No, she asked me a question, I answered her. Right? That's what exactly he said. That's why Mr. Knight asked me to answer it in one question. It is accurate. It is accurate.
All right.
No, it is not in the whole of America yet. I think our penetration is about 60% St. Vincent and the Grenadines, to be honest. That is because what I was trying to explain a while ago. That's before burial. No, that's after. That's before burial. It is still, it won't be that because we all know, as Mr. Hall said all in his presentation, United is down. United is totally down. We can't do anything until United is rebuilt. 50% probably in Canada 1. In St. Vincent, most of our customers, 90% of our customers are restored in St. Vincent, on mainland, 90% of it, and we are adding every single day, right? I think you wanted to ask a question. Okay. Any other questions? It hasn't, right, that's why I say, and for St. Vincent, we have only probably covered about 75 to 80%. We haven't covered the whole of St. Vincent yet, to be honest, right? Because that's what I was trying to explain a while ago. There are connections that we need to, the fiber is there, but the life part of it to send it to your home is not there as yet, right? But it will be very soon. Whatever request a customer has, it's a matter of, as Mr. Harrell will have explained to you, it's just a matter of what your requirements are. Because per personally speaking, I'm from America. I'm from Mission Park. So, I mean, a lot of us, we want 300 megabytes per second, 1,000 megabytes, but we don't have use for it. Right? That's being honest. That's being honest across the board when it comes to technology. Because of the devices that we use, we don't necessarily use up the bandwidth that we ask for. So what is happening is that most of the times, to be honest, we try to give customers to stay within their range. Right? So yes, we can give you up to 1,000 megabits per second, but are you really going to utilize it when there's another customer suffering? Right, Mr. Hull? So that's the thing when come to that part of bandwidth and whatever. Some of us, like Mr. Banwell here, he's a studio man. So he always in the studio, whether recording music, while some of us will be home just on our phone watching TikTok, not true? Right? Right? So sometimes we give it to you, but then you're ready to have use of it. I mean, as I said earlier, there are certain comments I don't like to make in the public, so that's one of them.
All right, so at this time, I would like to inform you that we have complaint forms available if you would like to fill out one. And I believe after you can speak with Mr. Hall and Mr. Samuel. So at this time, I will do the vote of thanks. Thank you very much, Mr. Hall, for being here. Thank you, Mr. Samuel, for being here. Thank you to our online viewers and our audience that is present with us. We hope that you follow us on our social media pages so that you can keep up to date with what we have, our events that we have going on. We have light refreshments outside, so you can grab something before you leave. Thank you very much for being here.